Give it all. Grow all allies' power and health to the highest power or health among allies. Grant all allies all allied keywords. Okay. I think that's got to be the play. It might have a Vile Feast on my 3-1. Okay. Cool. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Royce here. Thanks again for visiting this YouTube channel. Today I want to go over a very interesting deck that I found when I was surveying the ladder. If you are pretty new to LOR or you just haven't used this function before, you can actually look at the leaderboard of the top cards in your region and see what decks they used to get there. Let's ignore the fact that all of these players are playing Ahri Kennen and move on to the fact that, oh, there's some non-Ahri Kennen decks here. Very nice. And I'll just say that a little further down on page 6 or 7 or so, we found a Heimerdinger deck. Now, Heimerdinger is in Arcane. You know who else is in Arcane? Jayce is in Arcane. So today, we are going to be playing a Jayce deck. Now, excuse me if I pronounce this wrong. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced, but I'm going to just say this deck is from July Ice Sakura. So let's start by explaining what this deck is really trying to do. To understand that, you need to understand the champions. Jayce is a 4-mana 4/4 that comes down with Quick Attack or Challenger. In his unleveled form, he is just sort of a beat stick that has some flexibility. But once he levels, which happens when you cast 2 6+ cost spells, he starts doubling all of your 6+ cost spells. Also, he adds an acceleration gate to your hand, which just says buff your whole board by 2 attack, or by 2 power rather, give them quick attack. But if you use this while Jayce is still on the board, this card will get doubled. So instead, your whole board will get +4 power, quick attack, and another random keyword. The other champion in this deck is Heimerdinger. And Heimerdinger will generate a turret, like one of all of these, every time you play a spell. The more expensive the spell is, the stronger the turret will be. Once you play 12+ cost of tech allies, which includes these turrets, Heimer will level, and then from then on, all of the turrets that you generate will be a little bit stronger. Heimer's level is not a huge deal in this deck. It helps a bit, but it's not the focus. Now, before we move on to the rest of the deck, I want to discuss Hextech Handler. This card came out alongside Jayce, and it is probably the ace of the deck. This card is a pseudo-champion, I'm telling you. For the low price of having cost a 6+ cost spell earlier in the game, very easy to do in this deck, we play a lot of them, I'll show you those in a second. This card buffs all techs by +1/+1, meaning he himself is a 3-mana 4/3 quick attack unit, pretty efficient, but you play a lot of other techs in the game, you play a lot of other techs in this deck. I already talked about Heimerdinger's turrets being techs. Also, the Hextech Handler is a tech. Plus, we play 1 copy of Golden Crushpot. It's real, Golden Crushpot is in a deck. The 3-mana 2/5, this will be a 3-mana 3/6. Pretty nice. You play Adaptatron 3000. When you summon a tech, we share keywords. Pretty nice with Heimerdinger, pretty nice with Production Surge. Production Surge summons a whole slew of turrets. So just after 1 buff from Hextech Handler, this Production Surge it goes up a crazy amount in power level. Having 2 power techs is, 2 health techs is more important than I can emphasize, because all of a sudden, your board is impervious to Withering Wail. Your techs aren't vulnerable to Vile Feast. They're not vulnerable to Group Shot. They're not vulnerable to Pokey Stick. 2 health is way more than 1 in this game. Now let's talk about the rest of the deck. We're playing Production Surge and Thermo Beam, which are pseudo 6+ cost spells. If you play them for 6, they count as a 6. We're playing Forge Chiefs. This is just a good 1-drop that helps you fill some spell mana to start getting that Jayce going, to start getting the Heimer going in the 6+ cost spells. Mystic Shot, one of the best cards in the game. Nopify, just 1, just teched in, 1 Nopify. You don't have to run this, but we're going to try it. That's how the deck came, and that's how I'm going to play it. 2 Twin Disciplines, one of the best cards in the game. Flash of Brilliance is going to be generating us some 6+ cost spells, and it effectively costs 0 mana on its own because it refills your spell mana. So, yeah, Flash of Brilliance, perfect fit. The Forge of Tomorrow benefits from playing a 6+ cost spell. This basically says 3 mana, summon a 3/3, make your next 6+ cost spell only cost you 3. And you play a lot of those, so pretty good, but it can get a little bit cloggy because it takes up 2 board spaces, so it can be hard to play this after you drop a Production Surge, or after you've gone pretty crazy with your Heimerdinger. So just watch out for board space when you want to play Forge of Tomorrow. 1 Concussive Palm and 2 Deny, just more Ionia tech, more general hate for other things. Will of Ionia, 2 mana, or 2 copies, 4 mana. By the way, all of these cards will be generating Heimerdinger, his turret, so even though they don't cost 6, that's still fine. Assembly Line, 6 mana, summon 2 3/3s. Just decent effect, but it helps you develop a board, and having a board is nice for Jayce's spell. Also, it costs 6. Shock Blast, deal 3, and deal 3 to 2 different targets. This can target the Nexus, very important to know. And with Jayce, again, it instead says deal 6 and deal 6. Now that burn starts to look pretty crazy. Starts to look pretty menacing. Let's skip Albus Pharos for a second and go to Progress Day. This is just some refill. Just some refill if you run out of cards in your deck. Run out of cards in your hand, rather. Not deck. If you're out of cards in your deck, do not play Progress Day. You will lose the game. Albus Pharos, since you'll be playing so many 6+ cost spells in this deck, should be able to get in some burn damage. And, hey, Penguin, thanks so much for the host. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. We're just doing our little intro, but we're almost done this time. You're about to see some gameplay, and you'll be able to hang out. And we're going to go for another 2 hours, so you made it this time. It worked out. Nice to see you. I was just capping off with Albus Pharos here. After a long, hard-fought game, if you are having trouble closing it out, Albus Pharos can do that to you pretty easily, deal 4, 5, 6 damage, something like that, and also draw a copy of Jayce. You play him just as much for the burn as you do for the search. And that's the deck right there. Now this deck does have a lot of flex spots. Let's go ahead and just look at 6+ cost cards in these regions. We'll do that with this filter here. Now they have to be spells as well. You could play another Shock Blast. You could play an Unlicensed Innovation. Let's also show Unowned, just in case. When you draw or create me in hand, or each round start, while I'm in your hand, transform me into a random 6+ cost spell. You could play Hextech Anomaly, I guess. So yeah, you could go up in Shock Blasts, you could go up in Unlicensed Innovations, you could play another Assembly Line. Why isn't it showing Assembly Line here? Oh, it is. It is. I wouldn't main deck a Hextech Transmogulator, but it can be nice to pull off of a random spell generation. Also, all of these tech spots right here, there are a lot of them. Albus himself, the Wills, the Denies, Palm, Twin Disciplines, Nopify, all of that is very meta-dependent, so play around with those ratios. You could also consider playing another copy of Forge of Tomorrow. Other than that, the deck, most of the rest of the deck I would say is pretty core. Of course, you want to be playing your Jayce, and you want to be playing your Heimer. You want to be playing your 6+ cost spell package, as well as your tech package. But other than that, anything else you can weave in, feel free to give it a try. That's the deck intro right there. We're about to go ahead and play some games with this on Ranked Ladder. Let's see how it performs in Plat 2. See you guys there. But then we just won that game against a weird Mono Ash Vandal City deck. So Ziggs Taliyah, this is a burn deck. Maybe a mid-range deck. I think Assembly Line is a pretty decent keep. It's just easy to use on round 3. They'll only be able to get 1 swing at me. Other than that, let's keep some of our payoff cards. Let's look for Champions, let's look for Heimer, and let's look for Hextech Handler. How have you been doing today, Jose? Okay, no turn 1. Interesting. Just got off work. Nice. I think that's a really unusual double skip from Ziggs Taliyah. Interesting. Anyway, we don't have the payoff cards yet, unfortunately. Okay, we'll trade with that Devout. On this round, I don't think there's anything we want to will. You've got the Jayce, okay. Ooh, big turn. So, let's see. If I were to will this, what would happen? They would still get those, okay. Alright. We've got the Fearsome blocker, and we can just play out our Forged Chief and bank some spell mana. Will is pretty decent against Grumpy Rock Bear.
Well, that is what I pay you for.
Oh, we can't... Well, we can will after we block with this. Okay. That's pretty good for them. They spend a mana gem to do it. Now we have to block the Grumpy Rock Bear. That costs 1. Oh, well.
Need clearance, pal.
So here I'm going to just play this 1-drop, because I might as well. We have Shock Blast for these. Let's do that. Pretty good targets. I like that they had to spend a mana gem to kill my Fearsome blocker. That was pretty nice. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So they're really banking on that Fearsome unit. So since we might be able to... Oh, Mystic Shot, perfect. Mystic. Nice, that was a perfect draw. Perfect top deck. Okay. So we can play Jayce here or Heimer. If we play Jayce here, on the next round we'll have 7 plus 2 for 9 mana. So we can play Jayce's spell, but that's it. Jayce's spell on 2 things isn't super attractive. I think I'm going to Heimerdinger since we have the Adaptatron down. Heimerdinger into Assembly Line is pretty decent. How was work today?
Watch out for the love tubes, you maniac! They better watch out for me!
Okay. They're making some very low tempo plays here. I'm happy to see that. Maybe I was overestimating the aggro-ness of Ziggs Taliyah. Okay. This plus will can be good. But I don't have anything I want to will. I think we wait on the Hextech Handler, actually. And just Assembly Line here, Assembly Line into Fearsome. Heimer with this, and the Will of Ionia unit soon. We'll be at 10, so pretty close to leveling, but Heimer level doesn't really matter. This is going to give this one elusive. Ziggs is about to be leveled.
I thought there was something good to see.
Okay.
Round it goes.
So I think that only the elusives are good attacks here. They have a good value attack here by challenging the 3/3 vulnerable with the 5/4, or they can trade up with the Rock Hopper. They're not being super threatening to us right now. Hextech Handler feels pretty good to buff these two. Okay, there's the Ziggs. Now, fortunately, a lot of landmarks are already dead.
It explodes, of course. Go ahead, light the fuse.
Deal 2 to my blocker in the enemy nexus. Okay. I don't think will makes sense. I mean, we could double will. Let's do this. Okay. So let's do this on the stack. Heimer's leveled. He's been able to put a good amount of pressure on the opponent in this game. They'd probably replay the Ziggs.
What does that thing do? It explodes, of course. Go ahead, light the fuse.
Okay, let's see what we do here. Alright. So, what are our blocks? This can block here, this can block here, this can block here, here, and here. That looks pretty good to me. No shape stones is always nice. Nothing like that. Heimer is healthy. Healthy enough. So we can Albus here for 4 damage. We can Jayce into Jayce spell. I think that's got to be it.
Hextech Kennen, tested and tried.
So this is still their first Ziggs. I think they're bouncing bombs that they used. I think they might have used 2 of them. Or the Jayce or the Ziggs spell, right? Okay.
Bombs away!
Pretty good. So what are we looking for here? We're looking for lifesteal. We're looking for overwhelm. We're looking for elusive. Okay, that doesn't do much. Oh, double elusive? Nice. I didn't realize that. All right, we did it. That felt good. So I saw that. So they had some decent mid-range kind of tempo plays. They had they played multiple sarcophagus units, but it wasn't until late game that they actually had their inventive chemist and their the one that says last one to Nashra May buys me a free sale or buys me a new sale, the 3-1. So I think they just had a bad opening. I just played this deck earlier today. So now I know that Diana isn't really a priority kill. I know that they might be playing Starry Scamps. There are some versions with that. You definitely keep Forge Chief. Let's keep Jayce for the Zoe. Challenge the Zoe. Do they have turn 1 Zoe? That'll determine a big part of the game. They do have turn 1 Zoe. Okay, so against turn 1 Zoe, is there any reason we should wait? Now let's just still play it. Let's play it so we can open attack. We don't want them to develop something else that they'd rather block with. We'll offer this block, they're not going to take it. Pokey stick, okay. Oh, we should have probably kept that alive. Yeah, that would have been a good twin. Okay, Zoe is at 2. Not too scary yet. We don't have anything to do this turn, unfortunately. Not twin disciplining last turn, I think really messed up our curve. So here they're probably going to stun, which we can actually Nopify. That'd be a pretty good Nopify because it costs 2 mana. If they don't stun, they could... I don't think they have removal to kill this. Oh, I just realized they're... Yeah, it's a Bandle City deck. It's Bandle City Targon. Okay. It's what I've seen before. I think they're digging for another stun. It's nice that they don't have a very wide board here. Bye, Zoe.
Hextech engaged.
Okay, and for the next Zoe, we've got this Shock Blast waiting. Okay.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Flash of Brilliance. Burst Pass. Any other units? I'll Shock Blast them.
Spirit shines.
Okay, that was a nice soft pass. Punished for not playing Forge Chief.
Hey Rosa, got some new tweaks to the power circuitry.
Great. We're running into heat issues. What you got?
Pass. Okay. All been a little awkward. We've got Assembly Line. We don't need to keep Shock Blast like here at the ready. We've also got Twin Disciplines if we need to keep our Jayce healthy. We might grab something that would effectively block Forge Chief here.
I see the heavens aflame, gods burning in starfire.
Okay. So here I'm just going to swing with these. And that's it.
Believe or burn.
Okay, I'll take those blocks. Nice. I know their board is pretty important. So far, we've seen the Solari Priestess,
Embrace the night.
but generally speaking, they haven't played anything that will get them like a big threat. Okay. Yeah, I'm not that worried about that Diana. We can Assembly Line into Will. That'll be a good setup for Acceleration Gate. Okay.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
Oh, they discard a Star Shaping. Interesting. Okay, there's no deny. It's hard for them to kill this Jayce before it levels. They would need a few different pings. And I would like to see that because I have Twin Disciplines. That'd be a really high commitment.
This is the cutting edge of progress.
That's fine. Are you just gonna...
Cannot turn back.
Huh? Are you using Serpent to grab Jayce? Okay.
Moonlight guide me.
She's not flipped yet.
I will be heard.
Okay, hopefully not another Pale Cascade. It actually wouldn't be enough. Because, okay, let's just Acceleration Gate here. It's hard for them to respond to it.
Hey, show me that again.
We have potentially Will or Mystic Shot if we need it for something. Double Augment. Okay, that's not the greatest, but Scout is pretty good.
She called me betrayer. She scorned me.
Powering up.
This has Quick Attack, Scout, and Challenger. I like that. Okay.
Oh no. There's nothing a little ingenuity can't fix.
Second Jayce. Unfortunately, no Shock Blast because of that.
Hold still.
But we have Mystic Shot for the Zoe. So they threw away that Star Shaping, meaning, and I don't think they've invoked anything very big. If they have, they needed to have Spell Shield because of this Will. Okay, that's not so bad. That's fine. Let's Albus for our final Jayce. We can't Albus plus Will, right? No, we can't. Okay.
The Pharaoh's name will last the ages.
Okay, that's not doing much. That's just a blocker. Alright. So let's start thinking about lethal. If we Mystic Shot here, then we have 5 plus 6, so they're at 4. Right now, Jayce's ability isn't doing much. I think we pass. So let's see what we actually draw here and see if it works well with Jayce. It lets us draw a lot of cards. That could be good. Let's do this. And let's get Challenger.
Nothing beats field testing.
Okay, unfortunately that's burst speed.
I see the heavens of flame.
Oh,
God's
that's too bad.
burning
Okay.
starfire.
Alright, so that makes things awkward. We can bounce this right now, which will also let us play Adaptatron and Mystic Shot. So let's start by playing this Adaptatron. And Mystic Shot.
Only darkness.
And Will. The Serpent blocks here, and we get in for 10. I don't think we've used a Shock Blast yet this game. Let's check. We have not used a Shock Blast, so we still have Burn left in our deck. We also still have 2 Mystic Shots. And we've got this draw waiting. So they've answered all of my Jayces, but now I have Heimerdinger.
A quest? Leave it to me.
What seems to be the problem?
Okay. We don't have any value blocks here, but if they swing in with one of these or both, I'll block one of them with Albus. Oh, especially with my with my Stand United, excuse me.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly.
Okay. Pass.
Well, just do your best, okay?
So right now I'm only threatening 3 damage. Pass. Okay. Let's see if they challenge it.
Welcome to the team.
Nice. So, let's swap here. We're going to get an elusive, and this is going to get elusive.
My most groundbreaking invention to date.
Okay, progress day. Let's just buff up that Heimer a bit. Oh, it doesn't get buffed up yet. That's fine. So they want Pokestick here. Nice. Good game. We had the Twin Disciplines if they had Pokestick for our 6-1 there. And I just liked open attacking. If we didn't open attack, they could have had another Blinded Mystic. They could have had a stun that they had generated. I wasn't tracking their hand. Alright, so now we're back to parity with this deck. That feels pretty good. I'm kind of nervous to keep playing, but we're going to keep running it. Lucian Hecarim. Okay, so this deck is going to play Shark Chariots. It's going to play the 2-drop that buffs Ephemerals. We want Mystic Shot for the Lucian. We want Forge Chief. How much do we want Jayce? We could keep Jayce. But we're attacking on odds, so I don't like him. Three mana, 2/5? What? PogChamp?
Let's get to work.
That egg, did it move?
Nope. So we'll snap kill Lucian if it drops here. No. Okay, so we've got Hextech Handler coming in soon. It's Flash of Brilliance. Give it all. Grow all allies' power and health to the highest power or health among allies. Grant all allies all allied keywords. Okay. First pass. Okay, just for the ephemerals, I guess. And then in defense. Okay, we'll burn 2 mana. That's fine.
Oh, fresh soil.
Okay, so if we do this, we have Progress Day next turn into Hextech Handler on the opponent's attack.
Come this way.
Okay, so if I use Twin to keep this alive, I get my mana back. Are you giving my unit Ephemeral? Were you thinking about it? There's a card that basically says, take Ephemeral off one of your units and give it to your opponent. Remembrance. Okay, it's a good Remembrance right there. 3 mana. Ooh, and that's the best Remembrance card. So what I'm going to do is actually play Hextech Handler first, and then I'm going to Progress Day on the opponent's turn. Ooh. What if I could give it all plus Production Surge? Let's go here. We've got Twin to keep it alive.
There's a chill in the air.
We've got Mystic Shot for that. Let's see if you have Grasp. Is it Grasp? What's the 2 mana draw card? Happy Hansel. I watched Arcane. I'm not sure Intelligence is enough. Was that Heimerdinger? Was that Heimerdinger talking to Jayce right there? Yep, they've got it. Okay. If so, kudos. And Happy Hansel, welcome into the stream. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Alright, so we've got a nice, yeah, Hextech plus Production Surge. I think. I'm not sure the order this works. Hopefully it works. It should be fine. Fading Memories. Okay, so they're getting another Shark. Sounds good. We still don't quite have a block for this Radiant Guardian. We can value block a Shark. This can block a Shark. We can get some more mana back. This goes here. Alright, so their Hecarim is looking good. So this is a pretty good give it all here. We can give everything fearsome, tough, overwhelm, and quick attack. I think that's got to be the play. They can't have... They might have a Vile Feast on my 3-1. Okay. Cool. So now they have to be afraid. I know they've got this lifesteal here. That lifesteal is nice. Give it all. That's a handy card. Absolutely. Ansel, do you also play Legends of Runeterra? Or are you coming in here just as a as an Arcane viewer? That would be cool too. Alright, math is for blockers, so they say. You haven't played since Rising Tides. Rising Tides was when I started. Yeah, they should move the lifesteal over. Absolutely. And they only have one more block. Yep. Fortunately, I have quick attack.
Stay back.
Okay. Cool. So my board mostly survives intact. I take 14 life off of them. So they're going to go Hecarim here. I recognize the other player's deck. Yeah, it's I think this is an old school deck. Hecarim Lucian? Yeah, this was around back when you played. Oh, they just went below Hecarim. They don't have Hecarim. Did you hear that, everybody? Okay, so these are stronger. What am I gonna do here? I think we just production surge. Alternatively, we could... Oh, actually, let's assembly line, keep ourselves flexible so we can twin. Yeah, Rising Tides was awesome. That's when I started playing the game, basically on release week. Or maybe like a week before, something like that. Glad to see another old ELOR player here.
I fight for the fallen.
Does that have ephemeral because last turn's ephemeral allies died at the between turns?
Strike for justice.
What are they going to grab? Okay. Let's just do that. And these can block here and here. They're back at a high life total, but they have no blocks against this 20 damage. We're holding up a twin. We can production surge here as well. Let's see if they do something. Okay, open swing. I don't know what they can have here. They would need a lot. -6. GG? Yes! I just launched the game again recently. All those new keywords are blowing my mind. Okay, so against Pantheon, Will is very nice. But I don't think we keep it. We've got 2. I think we need more early game. We need a Forge, or by Forge I mean Assembly Line, and a Forge of Tomorrow would be good as well. We'll play this against their Saga Seeker.
To make progress happen.
Offer the trade.
Die when I am ready.
They don't take it. Okay. So this is going to give me 2 mana.
My shield is yours.
Pass.
I am ready.
Skip. Okay, so here we're going to Assembly Line. We've got the Heimer now. So next turn we'd like to bank some mana if possible. Maybe next turn we'll just like play a Mystic Shot. They've got the Zenith Blade, okay. They're at 2 targets now. Right? There it goes, 2. No good attacks here. We can also use this Forged Chief to try to get some mana back.
Onwards.
We'll accept and play the Forge of Tomorrow, I think.
Let's go, people.
I hear they only are the very best.
Now we have Heimer plus either Mystic Shot, Nopify, or Twin Disciplines. So we can Nopify their final Zenith Blade, perhaps. What else would we like to Nopify? Single combat? Yeah, we'll Nopify single combat.
Order, entropy, a never-ending cycle.
Pass. They would like to target here. That's their last one. They can just do it now. Ah, that's what we were planning for, you see. So does that prevent the targeting? I think it does.
It's smaller than a diagram.
So here we could consider swinging with our board.
Yes, my lord.
I'll stop you.
Are you the one?
Okay. No block with White Flame? Block with White Flame. Okay. So if they start by targeting this with Zenith Blade, we'll respond with Mystic Shot. Oh, never mind. It has Fury. I forgot about that. So if they start by targeting this with Zenith Blade, we'll respond with Thermo Beam. Cataclysm, huh? Okay. They would have to invest a lot of resources from here. Nice.
A sturdy construction. Yeah.
So we still have this Thermo Beam.
Honor guide me.
They've already targeted with this, which means... so this already got its Fated trigger this turn, which means if it gets buffed, it's going to get buffed by 2 health with either Guiding Touch or Sharp Sight. So I'm just going to offer the clean kill. And then we'll block this one.
Scarper for a smack you.
Okay, I'm gonna Mystic Shot. I don't want this to get out of hand. Excuse me. Sorry for touching the mic. 1 second. Okay, so with all of that said, we still have the kill with Thermo Beam.
It's smaller than the diagram. Divert our power to main laser.
Unfortunately, now we don't have Progress Day here. Oh, Progress Day doesn't give us a 3-3. This gives us a 3-3 at first. Okay, Progress, we would just get our mana back. Never mind. Pantheon is almost done. I don't think we want to offer this trade.
Together, stranger.
Okay, that's good. Now, if they play Pantheon here, it won't have barrier. Now, do we have... We actually have Jayce into,
There's nothing a little ingenuity can't fix.
we have Jayce into Progress Day. So next turn we'll have 8 plus 3 mana. Equals 11. We can Progress Day into Will. Because the Will be reduced by Progress Day's effect. We'll see if we see another Cataclysm here. I think this deck runs like 1 or 2. And we've already seen a,
Tell me of my death.
what have we seen?
Two figures dancing
Oh, no,
together in
Pantheon. Very
silver
nice.
rain.
We've already seen a single, which we nopified. Okay, so let's just respond to that. On the stack. It doesn't matter because it's burst. It technically doesn't go in the stack. So now we have double Mystic.
Tomorrow has never looked so good.
Now unfortunately Progress Day is kind of awkward because it means that Jayce doesn't... Oh, okay. I didn't actually draw a 6+ cost card. I could double Mystic here, but I don't think I will. We've got this T-Hex here as a nice blocker.
They said it couldn't be everything. Can you
There's the Heimer level. Nice. Okay, I've got the Mystic Shot for that. I've got double Mystic for Barrier plus Spell Shield.
I stand this day, a man against all gods.
Such power. Is that you, Atreus?
When I earn that name, I will take it back.
Let's just... Okay, let's look at what it has. It has Scout, Challenger. So it's probably going to challenge the Heimerdinger, right? Or the Jayce. Either way it dies. It doesn't have Spell Shield. That's nice. Oh, it has Elusive. Okay, that's a problem. Let's just Flash of Brilliance here. Transform a follower into an exact copy. Okay, so this one is getting transformed, potentially. Let's see if you actually use this challenge effect. Or if you just go in for the elusive kill. Alright, so I would need an elusive here. Can I generate one? Yes, I can, actually. Transform a follower.
Dimensions don't determine
Pick a follower to transform into. Here. Okay, we're gonna get multiple elusives here. Some multiple blockers for this.
Technology is so brilliant, it must be mine.
Let's play him.
Groundbreaking invention to date.
Okay, absolutely blocking that. Oh, really? Oh, you have Overwhelm. Oh, I didn't see that. I forgot you start with Overwhelm. Alright, that's a good game.
Round and round and round it goes.
Yep. Man. Man.
Hey, it's not testing if there aren't a few failures.
I don't know about that, Jayce. I don't like failing tests. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my YouTube video today. You just saw me play Jayce, Heimer, and Legends of Runeterra. Now I have to be honest, this deck really wasn't working for me today, and it actually went a little bit worse than you might have seen in the video. As you might have noticed in the description, I only had a 33% win rate with 4 wins and 8 losses. But let's go into the deck anyway and talk about what went well and what didn't. So, I feel like the deck still has a few power turns that it can get under ideal situations. For example, on turn 6, playing Production Surge into Hextech Handler right afterward can get you a wide board. You can even do it in the other order and play Hextech Handler on 3 into Production Surge on 4. That works as well. And just these Hextech Handlers do have the potential to really snowball the board. Plus, if you've got Jayce on the board, and Hextech Handler, or Jayce plus Production Surge, or Heimer plus Production Surge, absolutely this deck has the potential to get a lot of crazy turns down the line. However, what I've noticed is that it has a hard time making meaningful plays until at the very least round 3. Yes, you can play Forge Chief on round 1, but it wasn't that impactful, and oftentimes it just got pinged off and ruined my round 3 play. I would play Forge Chief on 1, they would answer with Group Shot, Prevent, or if I was attacking on evens, I would play Forge Chief on 1, it would switch to my attack token, and then they would Pokestick it. So Forge Chief really gets ruined by pings, and if you're going to play Forge Chief, you really want to make sure that it doesn't mess up your round 3 play, and a few times it actually did, especially against Darkness. Oh man, Darkness. Darkness was a tough matchup against this deck. I found that in order to kill Veigar, or be ready to kill Veigar, I had to leave up a ton of mana, so much mana that I really couldn't get things going, and the whole time they were able to accomplish other things. They were able to play Stilted Robe Makers, they were able to play Twisted Catalyzers, they were able to get Senna down, and I was just holding back to be able to kill Veigar when it came down, and I wasn't able to commit myself. That might have been a misplay on how I was going for the matchup, though. And the truth of it is, despite everything I'm saying here, July Ice, Sakura, again, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, was able to get top 50 with this deck, so it must have some play, but I think just because of a combination of the specific decks I ran into yesterday when I played this deck, and the small sample size of 12 games, maybe my local meta in Platinum 2 to Platinum 3, and maybe my own personal playstyle, and maybe some misplays, this deck did not perform very well. Let's talk about a few of the picks, though, to see if we can tighten it up. Albus Pharos was very nice. I was often able to get Pharos down, threatening 5 or 6 damage. Now, unfortunately, I had a hard time actually getting in for chip damage with this deck, so that 5 or 6 wasn't doing a lot, but it was often getting up there, and I like having 1 copy for consistency. I might consider playing a 3rd Shock Blast. Shock Blast is one of this deck's only removal tools. Well, really, its only hard removal tool, other than Thermogenic Beam, and just being able to double it with Jayce means that you can kill off some of those priority targets like I mentioned, like Veigar and Senna are some of the big ones. Assembly Line I might also include the number. I might also increase the numbers of this. There were a few games where I just really didn't have a good round 3 play, and this deck should always be ready to have a good round 3 play, since you can't play a 6+ cost card before that. So round 3 is the earliest you can do it. So I might go up to 3 assembly line, 3 shock blast here, and then let's see. Yeah, this deck is just playing a lot of kind of strange ratios, in my opinion. Just 1 Forge of Tomorrow, 1 Concussive Palm, just 2 Assembly Line and Shock Blast. I think making those cards more consistent, more reliable, might be a change I would make myself. So let's actually do that. But what are we going to cut, is the question. I think cutting some of just like the random tech cards might be required. I think I would probably take out Nopify, and I would probably take out maybe 1 Twin for the Golden Crush Bot. Yeah, let's drop the Golden Crush Bot, because without Hextech Handler, this card isn't doing much. There's only 1 copy. You have a lot of other things you want to be doing on round 3. You want to be playing Handlers. You want to be playing Production Surges. You want to be playing the Forge of Tomorrow. So we'll drop that Crush Bot. We'll go up to 3 Shock Blast, 3 Assembly Line. What else was I talking about? We might increase the number of Forge of Tomorrow now. I'm not sure on that one. Yeah, if you want to play another Forge of Tomorrow, you could drop a Twin or a Mystic Shot. That's probably my recommendation. Or potentially an Adaptatron 3000. But there's the deck right there. Definitely still give this a try. It might work better for you. But for me, yesterday, again, just in that small sample of games, it really wasn't it. And I might be going back to this deck in the future. I might be trying it out in a new meta. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave this one to the annals of history and move on to something that actually gives me some LP. So that'll do it. Thanks so much for watching this video, y'all. I really appreciate everything you've been doing, all of the subscriptions, all of the likes, all of the Twitch follows and Twitch viewers. It's been a huge help. So I'm going to leave it right there, and I will see you tomorrow.